Honestly, I don't see that happening. Chris Brown's not going to do it. You can say he's scared. You can say his peoples won't allow it. His PR, his agents, his sponsors, or anything like that won't allow that to happen. uh, CM Punk, he's an outspoken guy out inside the ring and outside the ring. He's not afraid to speak his mind. You know, he does it inside the ring. He does it outside the ring. That's just who he is. Um, and right now I got the page here. Here's the story from Chris Brown versus CM Punk, courtesy of Katie Wayman of WWE.com. WWE champion CM Punk lashed out against Grammy Awards winning singer Chris Brown on Twitter this past Monday, becoming a top story and trend on Twitter, TMZ, E Online, Media Blasto, OK Magazine, New York Daily News, and numerous media sites worldwide. On SmackDown aired live this past Tuesday night on Sci-Fi. CM Punk started things off with the tweet, "I would like at Chris Brown fight somebody that can defend themselves," referring to the whole what Chris Brown did to Rihanna. Punk tweeted out to his more than 650,000 followers on Monday before the Raw Super Show. Brown shot back at the WWE champion Monday in the since deleted tweet at CM Punk needs more followers. He's such a leader. Not to mention the wars he has. Not to mention the wars he's on has made it utterly impossible for him to pleasure a woman. The singer continued at CM Punk, contact my assistant and I'll have him send you an autograph pic for my biggest fan. Of course, 2009, Chris Brown was convicted of felony assault against his singing sensation then girlfriend Rihanna. He was recently criticized for a Twitter outburst after this year's Grammys. CM Punk responded on Tuesday evening prior to SmackDown with a video reply to Brown at CM Punk, "This must be said." In the video, he says how he feels about Chris Brown and he issued a challenge to a match. All the proceeds will go to a women's shelter of his choosing. You can go to the WWE page, check out the CM Punk video in its entirety. Now, Brown replied minutes after Punk's video was posted on Twitter. At CM Punk, the video you just posted was cute. It's so funny how defensive you are, he continued. And the fact that I really don't know who you are and can give a shit is the funny part. I hope this 15 minutes of fame is paying you for the long run because music lasts forever. Wrestlers come and go according to ratings. The Grammy Award winning was still tweeting about the situation as Super SmackDown went on live on Sci-Fi. I miss the real wrestlers. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Bret the Hitman Hart, which Chris Brown spelled his last name wrong. It's H-A-R-T, not H-E-R-T. Another wrestler name he spelled wrong, Coco Beware. He spelled it Coco, C-O-C-O, as in Ice-T's wife, when it's K-O-K-O, B, as in the letter B, and Rare, W-A-R-E. He pronounced his name Beware, B-E-W-A-R-E. So clearly he needs to work on his spelling. And Roddy Piper, at least he spelled his name right. Hashtag not no punks. The Rock, hashtag not no punks. Before Chris Brown seemingly signed off for the night, telling his Twitter followers it was time to get back to the music. His hashtag not no punks was the number one trend on Twitter on Tuesday night, while WWE champion CM Punk entered the ring for his match against World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan. But Brown wasn't finished. Tuesday. He tweeted again, note today, this will be the last day I bring at CM Punk existence up. The confrontations that people continuously bring my way are very amusing, because honestly, the shit is too time consuming to argue with every person who have their issues to deal with. After Punk finished his match, while still a Twitter trending topic on Super SmackDown, the WWE champion tweeted one more, simply stating hashtag ain't no woman beater. So yes, I guess if it wasn't for his match scheduled for with another Chris, as in Chris Jericho, this probably will be intriguing. It will be interesting. You got people saying, "Oh, this is staged." Well, Chris Brown does have a history of Twitter insults and insulting. Bottom line is, I know a lot of people want to see him get his ass whooped because of what he did to Rihanna. You can win all the Grammys, you can have the platinum plaques, you can have all that stuff you want there, Chris, but it's not going to change the fact that what you did 3 years ago. Just because Rihanna, the same female, the same female who forgive you for what you did, just because she forgives you, it doesn't mean that the rest of the world are going to forgive you. Now, me personally, has he paid his debt to society as far as what he did? The only probation he's really gotten is picking up trash. He's been on probation. He never had to go to jail because of what he did. Chaos goes on to say this stupid ass female who now forgives him wants to do a duet with him. Not only did she wanted to do a duet with him, she did 2 songs with Chris Brown. Not 1, but 2. I mean, I don't know how would people feel if you get into a situation and you get beat up by a friend or a family member or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and then years later, would you forgive that person? I understand that here in America we can be labeled as a forgiving country, but I don't know if I would forgive the person if I was on the receiving end. It has to take some time. People can call it courage for what Rihanna did, being the bigger person. Not only forgives Chris Brown, but collaborates with Chris Brown. Now, remember, Chris Brown's still on probation. They can't be near each other, so they had to do their own verses of songs in separate studios. Yeah, so not only they did one song, they did 2 songs together. So that's too much of an entertainment story. I'm gonna talk to Jeff and Laura about that on Chillin' Show. But I'm sure a lot of people want to see Chris Brown get his ass whooped, but his people won't allow it. His people, his agents, his PRs won't allow that to happen. The best thing for Chris Brown to do is just shut up and stick to the music. Because if you even think of wanting to be in the match with of CM Punk, you're gonna get the biggest ass whooping of your life. So just stick to the music, Chris. And it's best to be seen and not heard. But since he's a music artist, he has to be seen and heard. But this other stuff, the Twitter, the lashing, we don't need to see all that, bro. We don't need to see all that. So now that I got that out of my chest, I'm gonna talk more on the Chris Brown Rihanna duets on the Chillin' this Saturday night. But let's get to the wrestling, because this is a wrestling show, not a entertainment show. What's going on, Rocket Man, Brownie Master, and Chaos? Brand new chat room, updated chat room. Well, yeah, the layout of the chat room with the championship in the background. So allow me to recap what's going on in WWE this past week, other than Chris Brown versus CM Punk. SmackDown of last Friday night. Hunico defeated Ted DiBiase. Primo and Epico defeated the Usos. Daniel Bryan defeated Sheamus by disqualification. Jinder Mahal defeated Ezekiel Jackson. Tamina Snuka and Alicia Fox defeated Beth Phoenix and Natalia. And Santino wins the Battle Royal. Now remember, Randy Orton had the concussion prior to SmackDown. He had the concussion on Raw because of Daniel Bryan, which is why they had to have the Battle Royal. Which leads to the Elimination Chamber this past Sunday night. Jack Swagger defeated Justin Gabriel to retain the U.S. title. Beth Phoenix defeated Tamina Snuka to retain the Divas title. John Cena, oh my goodness. Attitude adjustment on Kane off the ambulance and sent him into the ambulance. Cena defeats Kane. So now his main focus will be on The Rock at WrestleMania, April Fool's Day. CM Punk won the Raw Elimination Chamber to retain the WWE title, while Daniel Bryan won the SmackDown Elimination Chamber to retain the World Heavyweight title. Right after Daniel Bryan retained the belt, out came the 2012 Royal Rumble winner, Sheamus, making his message known loud and clear that at WrestleMania, you and I are facing off for the World Heavyweight Championship. So that's what's going to happen. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. The match that us people didn't get to see made televised on WrestleMania last year. These two faced each other for the United States title at last year's WrestleMania, but it didn't make the pay-per-view telecast. So at least I guess this is WWE's way of making up to the fans for not having that match included on the telecast. Now on to Monday Night Raw for this past Monday night. Eve turns heel. Says that she was playing Zack Ryder all along, and she planned on doing the same with John Cena. John Cena find out, and Eve's plan backfired before it even happened. I told you, if for people that say, oh, Eve and Zack, they're item. No. But I didn't think Eve was going to stoop that low. And John Cena went off on Eve. Called her a skank. Called her a scandalous bee. And also called her a holski. People say, well, John Cena went a little bit too far on that one, considering John Cena and Eve are part of the WWE Be a Star campaign, anti-bullying. You know, I don't know what to think too much of it. Look, these are characters. They play on TV. I don't think John Cena is going to call every single female a whole bitch or a skank or anything like that. He does have that language, but it's not like he's going to, do that to every single female he sees fits. So, and yes, Brownie Master, John Cena does have the money to pay the fine for what he said those bad words. Yeah, he does have the money. But I think if that his fine is not going to be because of what he said about Eve, the fine is going to be because of what he said about The Rock later that night. And I'm going to get to that momentarily. Sheamus defeated Mark Henry. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth defeated Primo and Epico. Could R-Truth and could Kofi and R-Truth become a new tag team, perhaps? Does this mean that Kofi's got to be R-Truth's little Jimmy? In this case, I hope not. Kofi deserves so much better than having to team up with R-Truth and his imaginary friend, little Jimmy. And can I get a damn on this one? Juan Simmons inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2012. He joins the Four Horsemen, Rated R Superstar Edge, and Iron Mike Tyson. Of course, Juan Simmons, I first heard of Juan Simmons when he was part of Nation of Domination with The Rock, with Mark Henry, with a couple of Sadio Vega, D'Lo Brown. Remember Nation of Domination? That was like the first all-black stable there. Juan Simmons opened doors for the wrestlers of today, for African Americans. How convenient that Juan Simmons gets inducted on Black History Month of all months. Ain't that kind of a coincidence, don't you think, boys and girls? But nonetheless, Juan Simmons, well-deserved, first ever African American World Heavyweight Champion in WCW. I mean, he paved the way for guys like Booker T, Ezekiel Jackson, Kofi Kingston, R-Truth. I mean, he broke barriers back in the 1990s, because you think you have Soul Man Rocky Johnson, you had Tony Atlas back in the 70s and 80s, and then it was Juan Simmons that came through in the 1990s. A lot of people also know him for teaming up with Bradshaw and formed the APA. Of course, people now know him as the guy who says one word, damn, and it made him a lot of money. Well, all I can say is it's about damn time that he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations. Booker T said on SmackDown that Juan Simmons was a mentor to him, and that's good to know. Like I said, he paved the way for a lot of black wrestlers, African Americans. So congratulations to Juan Simmons. Also, David Otunga defeated Ezekiel Jackson. Daniel Bryan defeated Santino. I think Kelly. Actually, the Bella Twins defeated Kelly and Oksana. That match is short, but yeah, win's a win, I guess. But I'm going to go ahead and get to my thoughts of John Cena's choice words towards The Rock. He has some strong comments about it. And people could say what they want about John Cena this, John Cena that. But that's all he's been saying. The Rock appears to come and goes as he please. The Rock gone Hollywood. Last year he came back, said to the millions and millions of Rock fans, I love the WWE and I'm never going to leave. And guess what happened? He left. What John Cena said about The Rock, in some aspects, I agree with. I agree. If you truly care about this business, you would never leave in the first place. You would never do Fast 5 or Journey 2 or the Tooth Fairy or the Scorpion King and all that. Yes, John Cena did movies as well, but yet he's still on WWE television every single week. Even if he's not scheduled to be in a match, he's there in attendance. He's there backstage supporting his fellow wrestling peers. Now, The Rock is scheduled to appear on Monday Night Raw next week, and you know Rock's going to respond to John Cena. You know that's going to be fireworks. So it's pretty clear that these two men don't like each other that much. And this isn't the storyline. This is real dislike between the two. The Rock didn't take too kindly of Cena saying, well, you care for the WWE and you leave to do movies. You know, that's legit. I mean, now if The Rock, and I said this last year on the show, and I'm going to say it here, The Rock misled people saying he's coming back and he's never going to leave, and then he leave. You could have just say, I'm back. I'm going to keep in touch with the WWE. Don't just go and say, I'm back. I'm not going to leave. He misled the fans. He misled the fans. Now, people can kiss up to The Rock all they want. Say, oh, we like you, Rock, no matter what. But what John Cena said is the only thing I would agree with Cena is that about him leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back. The Rock is like a hot potato to the WWE. He's like a magician. He's here and he disappears. You know, that's the best analogy to put it. The Rock is a magician to the WWE. He's here and he disappears. And that's what Cena's mostly saying. And I wonder if for people to compare it, to say, oh, he went too far, I mean, don't be hypocrites about it. Okay? It's okay for D-Generation X telling people to suck it. It's okay for Steve Austin to pull middle fingers and talking about Austin 3:16 as a Bible verse. It's okay for The Rock to tell people he's going to shove things up people's candy ass. It's okay for people to be as obscene. But John Cena can't speak up? I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. And to tell you the truth, I think that was John Cena's best promo of his WWE career. That was his best promo. Even if you hate, I got people on my Facebook saying they hate John Cena, but they felt that was an impressive promo he did on The Rock. So you know The Rock's going to come back, and you know The Rock's going to have some words to say about it. And he's probably going to say, well, I'm going to hit you in your lady parts. I'm going to hit you in the main vagina. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Boost their asses and all that. But if you care about the WWE, don't mislead people saying you're here and you're never going to leave and you do so. Stop being a magician, Dwayne Rock Johnson. John Cena, he's real, he's legit as far as how much he loves the WWE. Even when his wrestling career is over, he's still going to be in touch with the WWE. That's what he wants to do. And I like how he said, and I'm sorry, professional wrestlers. That's what they are. They are not sports entertainers. They are not, they are professional wrestlers. WWE has lost track of that. They want to consider themselves sports entertainment, not a wrestling company. They are a wrestling company first. Everything else second. They wrestle. They act. They compete. That's what they are. And that's why a lot of people don't like WWE that much, because they lose track of what they really are. They are professional wrestlers. Man, I'm feeling real passionate this evening, so please excuse my enthusiasm. I'll admit, it just may be the championship in the background. I'm so pumped up. I'm not sure if I'm going to have an interview or not, but I'm just going to keep the show up and running. I did posted that I'm supposed to have an interview. Um, I haven't heard anything from the guests as of since Tuesday, so we shall wait and see. Just a reminder, we're back to our regular scheduled time, 8 to 9 Eastern, for those who just tuning in. On SmackDown from this past Tuesday, let's see here. Great Khali defeated Drew McIntyre. I mean, would Drew McIntyre just be fired already? Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger defeated Kofi Kingston in R-Truth. And I find this very funny and dark. That's what happens when you don't type. That's very interesting. So as I was saying, my screen went a little bit blank there. Let's see here. David Otunga defeated Ezekiel Jackson again. I found this very funny. The Miz, who's been on a losing streak, interrupted Daniel Bryan on SmackDown, right? Now remember, on NXT Season 1, Daniel Bryan was a contestant. His mentor was The Miz. And it was pretty clear the two men couldn't be on the same page. They could not get along. So that wasn't a good look. And then Sheamus interrupted him. And then Miz and Sheamus ended up having a match. Big Show versus Mark Henry. Now, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, that match ended in some controversy. Both shoulders were down at the same time. And John Laurinaitis was at ringside. It's pretty clear. John Laurinaitis trying to take over both Raw and SmackDown. Oh, dear God, I hope he doesn't take control of both shows. I can't have it. I can't have John Laurinaitis. I dealt enough with him on Monday Night Raw. I don't want to see him twice a week. Okay, you are in charge of Raw. Let the brother Teddy Long be in charge on SmackDown. And speaking of SmackDown, in case you missed Tuesday's show, I believe Sci-Fi will give you the encore presentation tomorrow night at its regular scheduled time. So be on the lookout for that. I do have an update on Ray Barrett. He suffered an injury during the Battle Royal this past Monday night. He suffered a dislocated elbow. He'll be out of action for 6 to 8 weeks. So there will be no Barrett Barrage come WrestleMania. However, Randy Orton is still recovering from the concussion. There's no word when he'll be clear to get back to wrestle. But I think Randy Orton, I think WWE just having him rested until a couple of weeks to WrestleMania. Oh, and this past Monday night, I forgot to mention this, Triple H finally gave in to The Undertaker. These two men will face off at WrestleMania one more time. No careers on the line, but the match that they are in, you might record a career ending for one of these two men. For the first time ever in the history of WrestleMania, there will be a Hell in a Cell match. Now, remember, they're going to be in an outdoor stadium. So how? But we're in the streak. That's a good question. I keep thinking that this is it for The Undertaker. This is going to be his last WrestleMania. He's not on television every single week anymore. He's still in the active roster, but he's not on every single week. So you have to think As far as I'm concerned, that's a good question, Chaos. So which one is retiring? Triple H right now, he is the COO. He is the Chief Operating Officer. So that's his current job position. Undertaker, he's still somewhat an active wrestler. He's not wrestling every single week, but he's on the active roster. As far as I'm concerned, I say this could very well be Undertaker's last match in his WWE career. I honestly think this will be the end of Triple H as well as a wrestler. He wants to hang on to his job that he has, and that's Chief Operating Officer. Triple H feels, in my opinion, he's going to be in charge of the WWE when Vince decides to step down. So personally, these are the last two men active guys left in the WWE roster from the Attitude Era. I find that interesting. They talk about, Triple H talks about, this is the end of an era. This is the end of the Attitude Era. These two guys have been around since before the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era is great. It can never be duplicated. Now WWE is on the PG era, as I like to call it. But yet they wasn't so PG-esque this past Monday night. So yeah. Undertaker, I think this is it. I think this is going to be the year that he suffered a loss at WrestleMania. And that's okay. He's a future Hall of Famer. Triple H is a future Hall of Famer. What is left for them both to prove? It's all about the CM Punks. It's all about the future of the WWE. And they got some talented young superstars that can hold the fort down for the next 5 to 10 years. And I know people don't like TNA because of the old wrestlers they have. And I feel like sometimes you wrestle for way too long and then you suffer an injury and you won't be able to walk. Look what happened to Edge last year. He was forced to retire because of a neck injury. Look what happened to Shawn Michaels after his last match. He walked out on his own 2 feet. Wrestling can take a lot of beating in you. It could give you a lot of beating. It could tear down your body. Say what you want about it being staged and choreographed and act. It is hazardous. And people do get hurt. People do get injured. People even get killed in the wrestling ring. May I need to take you back to what happened when Undertaker took on Mankind at the King of the Ring. I think that was 1995, 96, I believe. And Undertaker chokeslammed Mick Foley from on top of the cell all the way to the announce table. That was like 10, 15 feet from the cell all the way to the table. And I thought Mick Foley was dead. And yeah, he kept back up and kept fighting. Wrestling takes a lot out of your body. I've interviewed a bunch of wrestlers, and they tell me that it takes a lot of beating out of you. And even they don't know how long their career is going to last. So I'm telling you, wrestling is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, the hazard is real. Repercussions is real. You do get hurt. You do get injured. That, my friends, is real. That is real as it gets. So yeah, a lot of people saying, like myself, I think this is the end of the Undertaker's career. He is done after WrestleMania. Triple H I think this is going to be his last match as well. He's going to stick to being the chief operating officer. He will be on TV every now and then, but as far as being the full-time wrestler, I don't see too much of that. These two men are going to be Hall of Famers, and they got nothing else to prove. But after WrestleMania, this is it's over. You know, the Attitude Era ended a long time ago, but I guess they saying the Attitude's still up and running because those two are still active in the WWE. You know, this is it. The lasting piece of the Attitude Era come WrestleMania on April Fool's Day. I'll tell you, man. Right now, I'm looking at the current matches. I'm looking at it right now. You got Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. I think CM Punk's gonna have some words to say about Chris Brown come Monday night. You know what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna have a little bit to say about Chris Brown, and then he'll focus on another Chris, as in his WrestleMania opponent. That will be Chris Jericho. Now, and I'm going to get to the TNA recap momentarily. I'm going to get to that shortly, if I can. But we got a jam-packed lineup coming up on the month of March, interview-wise. We got the... speaking of which, I'm going to be at a wrestling show tomorrow. I'm going to be at Ohio Valley Wrestling in Frankfort, Kentucky, inside Western Hills High School. A former guest from last week, her name is Kayla Marie Stoll. She's going to be in action, I believe. And she will be going up against the OVW Women's Champion, Taylor Hendricks. And I think... No, I did not. Oh well. I thought I found the Impact stuff, but I didn't. But the Ohio Valley Wrestling, they're gonna be doing a show at Frankfort, Kentucky tomorrow, and at Western Hills High School. In case if you unable to check out OVW TV taping from yesterday, the TV taping is up and posted. You go to ovwrestling.com, check out the show in its entirety. A lot has changed there. In case you haven't heard, OVW is the official developmental territory of TNA Wrestling. So I'm very excited to see Kayla in person. Looking forward to... I hope I could do another video interview there. And I hope to do a video interview on Sunday when I go to a UWF show. One of the wrestlers named Felony Fox says she wants to do a video interview. And I hope I'm able to do that on Sunday as well. And I want to thank you, Chaos. I thank you, Chaos, for giving me an idea of what I could do with these video interviews. Because of a Windows Movie Maker. I can't believe this has been on my computer the whole time. I never used it once. Now I'm using my flip cam. And the video files are MP4, I believe. Those are QuickTime videos. So I'm planning on using the Windows Movie Maker. I'm going to start using it. You know, so the next video interview I do, at least what I want to do, at least the beginning of the video interviews, like a message, like a graphic or something like that, saying Kenny C interviewing this wrestler or interviewing that wrestler. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to post that person's social network links. So I tested out the Windows Movie Maker the other day, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe it's that easy to to do that. So I'm planning on using it more often. So there's a lot. There's a lot you could do. Just take some practice. Um, so yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it already, and I just tested out. I just tested out one time. Uh, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend anyone check it out. It's in Frankfurt. You in Lexington. You know, Brandon could be the cameraman. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Uh, we could do that. We could definitely do that in the future. Um, Speaking of which, Rey Mysterio, who is I believe still recovering from an injury, Rey Mysterio is going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. Translation, Browning, get your ass on the bus. It's a long ride. Actually, it's not that long. It's like a 20-25 minute drive from Frankfurt to Lexington. It's not that long. Now, if I was in Louisville, that would be a long drive. Uh, yeah, so that is a long drive. Before I get into it, not sure if you've seen the Facebook posts I've made. Uh, I've been doing this. I've been checking out this website called craykey.com. It's like a 24/7 radio station website. And since I'm no longer using Ustream for chilling, that has become the next big thing for me to use. Um, 25 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna upload my podcast for both shows on ITMI Radio and Cray Key, and I've already added the player on the Chillin' Broadcasting website. Uh, so you say Chaos tell me to be careful. Uh, I'm definitely gonna be careful. One thing I'm not sharing. One thing I'm not doing on Cray Key. I'm not sharing my podcast, and I'm not sharing my promos and interviews or anything like that. I'm not sharing all my stuff. If you want to hear this stuff, you go to itmiradio.com or chillingbroadcasting.com. I'm just letting people know right now. I know there's a share option for Cray Key, but I'm not sharing my stuff. So, uh, so there you go. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, Chaos, and I'll be careful. Uh, I'll keep that in mind. TNA got a pay per view coming up. Remember, there's no WWE pay per view in the month of March, so that means we all gotta wait for a whole month before WrestleMania. You see, WWE used to have a pay per view in March, but for the last several years, that's not the case anymore. Um, so you got if you're a WWE fan, you gotta wait for a whole month. You gotta wait for an entire month before WrestleMania. There's no WWE pay per view in um pretty much I'm using it. I have a talk station so I can add podcasts and interviews and stuff. Just like I'm doing with ITMI, I'm uploading podcasts and stuff. And on the music side, I just added music from former guests. And for Triple Threat Western Radio, similar to ITMI, I'm just uploading podcasts. So it's just mostly just to upload podcasts. Just another way of people listening to the show. Uh, so if I hope that answers your question there, Chaos. Yeah, that's right. Raven Raven is coming to Georgetown, Kentucky on March the 4th. I will not be able to be there on the UWF show that night. And that's because I have to work on that day. I have to work on March the 4th. But I will be at the week before Raven shows up. Right now, what I'm about to do here, I gotta get to this TNA Impact recap here. So let's see here. Impact February 16th, 2012. So let's go ahead give you a recap of the TNA show, the results actually. So next week's show, we're only gonna recap Impact and Raw. That's the only thing we're recapping next week. It's the only thing we're recapping. Yeah, you better get your ticket there, Andrew. There's only 19 some tickets left. It's your last chance to get a ticket before March the 4th. So if you plan on going, you better get your ticket, and it costs $10. It costs $10, and you get to have a meet and greet with Raven before everybody else does. So it's the last opportunity. All right, so let's go ahead and give you the results of TNA Impact from last week. The New York Giants are continuing their championship tour. A couple of Giants were there. I think it was Brandon Jacobs for the New York Giants. He was there. Bobby Roode and Jeff Hardy went at it. Bobby Roode wins. X Division Championship. Austin Aries and Zema Ion versus Alex Shelley and Shannon Moore. Austin Aries and Zema Ion. There was a number one contenders battle royal. And how about this? Gail Kim's friend, her tag team partner for the tag team titles, Madison Wayne, wins. She wasn't even dressed up to compete. It was down to Sarita and Velvet Sky. Sarita charges and Velvet pulls the top rope and Sarita falls out to the floor. Velvet thinks she won, but suddenly Madison Wayne pops out of her chair, rushes to the ring, dumps Velvet over the top rope, and apparently she's now the number one contender. Gail Kim, not that happy. Let's face it, when you are a champion, you are a target. Even your friends want the tag team titles. I'm going to put it that way. Number one contenders match, Bully Ray versus James Storm. This was for a chance to face the champion Bobby Roode for the TNA World Heavyweight title. James Storm is your victor. And there you go. That is your recap of TNA Impact from last Thursday night. TNA is on tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central over at Spike TV. Encore presentation of SmackDown is tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Sci-Fi. Raw is on Mondays on USA. The Rock will be there. After what Cena said, you know The Rock's gonna say something strong. And like I said earlier, I do expect CM Punk to have a couple of things to say about Chris Brown. And I'll get to more on Chris Brown this Saturday on Challenge. I'm gonna get into the fact that he collaborated with Rihanna on 2 songs. Gonna get into that. That should be quite a discussion between Jeff Lauren and myself. So there you go. That's pretty much all the recapping I got for tonight's show. Um, Apparently my guest did not call in, so just gonna see what's going on there. Uh, this coming Saturday on Chillin', we're going to uh recap the entertainment news of the past week. That's what it looks like it's heading. Since we did trivia last week, we're just gonna mostly recap some other stuff. So there you go. Um, so please check out the website chillingbroadcasting.com. It's no longer the official website of Chillin' with Jeff and Kennedy. It's now the Chillin' Broadcasting Network. Obviously, since I do more than one show, might as well make a network out of this. You know, Chillin' Broadcasting almost reaching the 2-year anniversary. Speaking of Triple Threat Western Radio, and I've been keeping track here. The 1-year anniversary of TTW is coming up in April the 12th. Well, technically, April 14th is the 1-year anniversary show. Thursday is April 12th, so we're going to do the 1-year anniversary. Now, man, we're expanding. yeah. That's the best way to put it, Chaos. I'm trying to expand myself. I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to, you know, put myself out there, if you will. And yeah, it's almost 1 year for Triple Threat Western Radio. And this coming August will be 5 years for Chillin'. I thought to myself, for Chillin', maybe 2-3 years, and now here I am, 5 years. 5 years coming up for Chillin'. 1 year for Triple Threat Western Radio. The month of March technically marks my 5-year anniversary as a broadcaster, because I started Chillin' with Kenny C in March or April, and then I ended up doing Chillin' with Jeff and Kenny C August 2007. So yeah, 5 years for me. So clearly I have exceeded even my own expectations. I have a website. I met people. I done video interviews. I done a lot of things that I never thought I would do. I've exceeded my own expectations. I try not to put my expectations too high, because Chillin' was just a baby, and the baby needed some grooming. It needed some powder. It needed some care, and now it's turned into a child. It's 5 years old coming up in August. Now, Triple Threat Western Radio is still a toddler. Chillin' is a child. It's a young child. It's just standing on its own 2 feet right now. So, Triple Threat Western Radio's got a long way to go, but I'm very excited about 2012. 5 years as an internet broadcaster. You know, it's been very great, and I'm thankful for everyone that has supported myself, Jeff, and Laura for all these years. What's going on, Dr. Myth? Thank you for tuning in. It's unbelievable. I thank everybody for listening. Whether it's 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, don't matter to me. I appreciate all of you for taking the time out of your lives and listen to this person on the microphone on your Thursdays and Saturday nights. Unbelievable. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Chaos, for the brand new spanking championship layout. If for those who haven't, please click on the Triple Threat Western Radio Facebook link. It's on the left side of the chat room, underneath the logo there. Right where it says like our Facebook fan page exclamation point Triple Threat Wrestling. Click on it, like the fan page. I know I only have 28 people like, but obviously I prefer more. So tell your wrestling friends and fans to like the fan page if you don't mind, please. See, Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C has 240 plus likes. So help me out here. Help me help you. Help me help you help me. Well, yeah, you get the idea. Thank you everyone for listening. You all have a good night. Jeff will be back next Thursday. He's got the Rap Bastard Sports Show on Friday. Chilling is on a Saturday at 9. For what, to my understanding, Jeff and Sean bringing you the Adult Mad Libs on Saturday night. So that's his show is going to be a lot longer than an hour. So more power to him, I guess. The Morgue, Broken Pole, Law, and Smoking Beaver, Miro, Zero, all those guys, blogtv.com, check them out. Law is part of the Chillin' family, so it's only fitting I support that. I'm out of here, y'all. Thank you all for listening. Much love. As the Chillin' mantra goes, consider yourselves chilled. I'll see you Saturday on Chillin'. See you next Thursday. Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, part of the Chillin' Broadcasting Network and itmiradio.com. You all have a good night. I am Kenny C, and I am signing off. Peace out. No outro, just a peace out. Deuce. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. You gotta love my endings of the shows. Here we go. Deuce. I'm just